Alright everyone, so in the last video, we started the process of changing the knight into the werewolf by having the knight's armor explode away from him. Now I want to do the actual transformation itself. So go to werewolf, and werewolf right now starts with when I receive start werewolf, but we want it to be triggered by change to werewolf. So one way we could do this is we could grab a when I receive change to werewolf, and we could put that here, but I want to leave this so that I can use it for playtesting, so that it just starts when I put the werewolf in the first enemy position. So what I'll do is something slightly different. I'll just add an extra step. When I receive change to werewolf, start werewolf. And so in the game itself, this really is a kind of pointless extra step, but it's so that I can go straight to this sometimes by when I just want to use the enemies list to start by putting in werewolf in the first slot. Now, when I receive start werewolf, we want to set up the werewolf, which doesn't really do anything, but it does. That's the place where he shows. I'm going to take the show out of there because I'm going to put it somewhere else. So actually, let's just start a block and call it werewolf transform. And we'll define it in a moment. But first, we're just going to remember to call it, and we're going to put it in right here. So right after set up werewolf, we're going to do the werewolf transform. This is where we're going to put the new show. And then it will go on to the werewolf move, which is the rest of what the werewolf does. So werewolf transform, what we want him to do is we want the werewolf to replace the knight, but we're also going to want him to replace the wretch. So it might be the case that you destroy all the armor off the knight and only the wretch is remaining, and only then you get the transformation into the werewolf. So we have to account for both cases. So grab an if then else. If current enemy equals knight, then go to knight. Otherwise, go to wretch. We're then going to set the current enemy to werewolf, because that's what it would be. And then we want to do an animation. So make a block, call it change animation, define it in a moment. Let's just put that there. Now for the change animation, it's pretty straightforward. We're going to go to the first of the changes. So where do we have those? Right here. And then we're just going to proceed through the changes. So looks, switch costume to change 1. How many changes are there? Change 4, so 8, 9. There are 9 changes, so that's 8 steps from 1. So repeat 8 times. Next costume. And as always, we want to put a little weight in there so your eye has chance to see each frame. Just 1/10 of a second. Grab a show and I'll put it in here after the costume so we don't see some random costume at the beginning. Let's try that again. And I'm pressing W. Okay, so you saw all the crazy changes at the end there. That's just because it went to the next costume after the change. We can fix that pretty easily. So at the end of change animation, switch costume to whole, and that should start him off properly. Okay, I like it, but I feel like where he's appearing is slightly off. It's because he's too low in the frame. So I'm going to change that in the costumes itself. Hopefully this will be changed by the time I upload them, so you won't have to do this. But if you do, then this is how. So I'll just grab that, convert to vector if it isn't already, and then move it to there. Pressing W. Okay, I like that. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you for listening, and if you find this video useful, please hit like and subscribe.